Round 2 of the 2025 Mighty Mini Championship then is shortly to get underway here at Donington Park. Ben Butler it was that took the victory in race 1. That means he's going to start 6th this time around, because it is on pole position, the number 64 car of John Jenkins. So he was 6th in race 1, the 6 was drawn out of the bag, and this partially reverse grid puts him on pole position. Besides him is number 93, which is Sam Slater. On the second row of the grid it's 58, which is Ollie Samways, and 24 is Tao Butler. The third row, 44 and 43, Trevor Peters and Ben Butler. On row 4 it's going to be 40 Chris Didcott and 55 Ruben Valudo. Row 5, 13 Morgan Bartley and 32 James Jenkins. Row 6, 88 Claire Jeffries and 33 Will Tyrrell. Row 7 is 7 Stephen Rideout and 15 Ian Slark. Row 8, 6 Paul Hollett, 38 James Bryan, and row 9, 61 Matthew Baker. Green flag has already waved. The cars have gone off onto their warm-up lap, and again the time has started to count down because we are a little bit behind schedule after the earlier delay. So 20 minutes has already started to count down for this second Mighty Mini race of the day, Josh, which, as we said, has this partially reverse grid.
And to add to that reverse grid element, potentially the two fastest drivers in the race, Steve Rideout and Ian Slark, are starting near the back as they didn't finish in race 1. So watch out for them, because they could challenge, you'd think, towards the end of the race, or maybe early on in the race. John Jenkins then on pole, might be a new experience for John to start there. He had a good result earlier, he finished in 6th position. So we'll see what he can do from pole. The 61-year-old from Norfolk, the father of James, who's a bit further down the grid today. He only started racing last year, did John Jenkins, in this Rover Mini that he and his son built together. Alongside him, Sam Slater was quick at times, wasn't he, in race 1. Sam, who only started racing a couple of years ago, the 29-year-old from Bristol. He was winning races immediately last year, and then took the title in 2024. So in the Mighty Mini class, obviously just the one class this year. Ian explained that to us a little bit earlier on. But really, he or Sam Samways, the Butlers, Trevor Peters, plus the earlier mentioned Steve Rideout and Ian Slark, maybe Will Tyrrell too, are all potential race winners here. You wouldn't really want to bet on anyone because they've all got the pace. It's a competitive looking championship, I think, with this merging of the two classes into one this year. Yeah,
it's made it really unpredictable, hasn't it? No one's got a clear idea of who's going to succeed, with some of the Super Mighty Mini drivers sort of effectively stepping back slightly because these cars aren't quite as quick as the cars that have been used to, whereas the Mighty Mini drivers are effectively stepping up a little bit because the sort of specification is slightly met in the middle, really, with the two classes being put together, and it's going to produce some really great racing as the season has gone on. Hopefully we get more cars out there, and we only had 10 finishes to race 1, which was a bit attritional, especially given the difficult conditions, but they've improved a lot now. Still damp, of course, but the sun now shining here at Donington Park for this second and final race of the day for the Mighty Mini Championship. And what are the chances of Tao Butler here getting a victory? He said that all that mattered earlier on was beating his dad. Right, as Ben that won race 1, can Tao win the second race of the day? We'll see about that. The final few cars are just coming into position ahead of what's going to be about a 16.5 minute race by the time we get underway. There is the green flag waved to the back. 5-second board is shown. Rev starting to rise. Shortly we'll be off and running. It's John Jenkins on pole. It's Sam Slater next to him, who's going to make the best start. Pretty even between the two of those, I think. Samways, of course, in the dark coloured car on the second row of the grid. He might have the lead as they come down into Redgate corner for the first time. It looks like he is ahead. In fact, yes, he is. So it's Samways from third on the grid that moves into the lead of the race. It's Jenkins in second. Ben Butler is in third. Tao is still about 6th as they make their way off Redgate corner through Hollywood for the first time. But Samways already has quite a few car lengths here over Ben Butler, who's moved up into second place, and it looks like it is Trevor Peters that's moved up into third position.
Yes, so a very good start for Ben Butler. 20 years of experience. And running wide is Peters, but that's okay. Sam Slater is in fourth, then Tao Butler is next. 5th. I think Will Tyrrell is up to sick from row 6 of the grid. So great start there from Will Tyrrell, a 25-year-old in only his third season racing, the Lewis champion from 2 years ago. It's all together now behind Ollie Samways, the 2023 Mighty Minis champion, and Ben Butler in second. Tal Butler got a bit sideways on the exit of Lane's corner. It's behind Trevor Peters, who was second earlier on this afternoon. It's a bit wide again, but I think he's stayed on. Got to look out for the progress of Steve Wright, only in slot there. Running better this time.
They come towards the Robert chicane. White sort of flapping about on Ben, but it's not really doing very much. There's not a lot of moisture being picked up, I don't think. That's it. Ben Talbot's also got his wipers going as well. Only a few of the cars do though. End of lap 1, then it's Samways by 4/10 of a second in the lead. Car 58 from 43. Ben Butler in second. They are nearly 2 seconds clear of Peters in third place.
Clark and Red out 7th and 8th in the back. Very sideways to Trevor Peters into Redgate. And Satchel, and now he's clobbered the side of Tal Butler, I'm afraid. And Butler's had a wild ride into the gravel and presumably out of the race. So an unfortunate incident there.
Yeah, which is in the wrong place, wasn't he? He was tagged by the recovering Peters. Ruben Valudo, the Portuguese driver, left-hand driver on that one, has had a spin as well. He was 14th at the end of the first lap. So that's going to put Sam Slater, I think, into third position, isn't it? Peters has continued. He's just ahead there of the 40 car of Chris Didcott and James Jenkins in the number 32 car for better fortunes in race number 2.
I'm in the hill. There's Clark and Riddell. They're about 5 seconds behind the leader at the start of the lap. James Jenkins has just got past Chris Didcott. Something like 8th position it would be, I think. Some progress now starting to be made by James Jenkins. We've seen a damaged car there. Trevor Peters is carrying on for now. In terms of front-end damage to that machine onto that moment around the Redgate corner. He's just ahead of James Jenkins, 22-year-old from Norwich.
The snatch vehicle is now out on the circuit to try to recover the Tal Butler car from the gravel at Hollywood, is where it more or less ended up. So that was by yellow flags locally, I think. Leaders over the line again. Start lap number 3. Samways and Butler, the gap 3/10 of a second between them this time, but they'll be into a yellow flag zone now, so no overtaking there. But Butler had done the best lap of the race on the first flight, number 140.990.
That's nearly a 2 seconds quicker than earlier on, so further impressions that the track is improving. Going through this yellow flag zone. So Ian Clark is 5th. He's only really quicker than Will Tyrrell at this stage. The top 3 are faster. So Ian Clark is multiple champion in this category, a 3-time champion, once in Mighties, twice in Supers. So back to the bigger cars. A bit more challenging. Let's see. Battle between Trevor Peters and James Jenkins carries on for 7th position. Trevor Peters, the design engineer from Somerset, just ahead. And meanwhile, Will Tyrrell has been caught, hasn't he, by the 2 veterans of Mighty Mini Racing.
Yeah, Ian Slark in the number 15 car in 7th, Steve Rideout, man behind Octaneracing, who has quite a few cars on this field. He's in the sort of day-glow yellow car, and Slark is in the blue number 15 car, so he's got some experience behind him now. It's Will Tyrrell in that number 33 machine from Porsche. Historic race engineer is going to concede 1 place. Is he going to concede 2 places? He probably is. Steve Rideout might even make up a couple of places himself here as they head into the corner. Well, Tyrrell is trying to hold on. It's not quite going to work for him. They'll have to concede ground. Loses 2 positions. He is down to 6th. Ian Slot up to 4th. And Steve Rideout up to 5th as they come across the line to complete that 3. It was Sam Slater in third place that did the best lap of the race. That time for 140.395. He was 1.2 seconds faster than Ben Butler and got the gap between 2nd and 3rd down to 1.4 seconds.
So he's closing in this point to the gravel field here. The track is very gravelly, so does that mean that Tal Butler's carrying on? Going up the gravel and needs to rejoin, I suspect.
Maybe that's what's happening in this Podium gravel too.
He's done a 5-minute lap. That's at 1 now, isn't it? We'll see. So the
tyres have already gone faster than that now in these better conditions in the afternoon race. There's Trevor Peters with the sort of bump of his car, number 44, pushing over the line. He's going backwards. Jacob Ryan from the back of the grid just didn't got both past him. So I think we have a word of department, of course, after the end of this race for that instant that it was over Rolf Town, and it doesn't look to have reached what it's not the time you want to get. unusual to see a drive like this. We kind of saw it on occasion when he was in the Mighty Mini class previously. As we're watching now, James Bryan under pressure from Morgan Bartley, who's late on the brakes into chicane. Robertson, he goes through there. Morgan Bartley goes through, but yet Samways is just in a serious form here. Gap of more than 6 seconds already in this race with 4 minutes or so left to go.
I mean, to that point, you made little clever pieces of the setup in the earlier race.
Yeah.
Just wonder if the likes of Ben Butler went for a wetter setup, and now his pace is just going off as maybe the tyres overheat. The setup just isn't right for these drying conditions. It has dried remarkably quickly, hasn't it?
Oh, and that's a big off, I'm afraid, for Will Tyrrell. It looks like the car has been on its roof there. That's the 25 from Horsham. Spin as well for number 61, which is Matthew Baker. Matt Baker, and we get a red flag. Race being stopped. We've had that big incident for Tyrrell there. From car 33, white flags as well as the red flags. Well, that's to one of the drivers that the service vehicle, the rescue vehicle, out on second. Well, there it is, the 750 rescue vehicle heading to the scene of that incident. Old hairpin.
Second, and it was been over half the track today, I'm afraid. It's always a possibility, isn't it, in these conditions?
Yeah, and as we get into the gravel and the car will dig in. We've only got 3.5 minutes left of the race, so checkered flag icon now showing on the screen. The driver's out of the car, which is great to see. So good news for Will and his supporters that Will is out of the car. He's inspecting the damage. It's a buckled roof on that car, but the race will not restart, Josh.
With only a few weeks at Silverstone, you'd wonder if Rapie and Graham Shepherd, whether those cars will be ready for that round, which, if it's dry, should do some spectacular racing on the Silverstone National Circuit.
Absolutely shouldn't it? 3 weeks away, well, less than 3 weeks away, because of course it's on the bank holiday Monday here. So some work to be done behind the scenes to get cars prepared for Silverstone. Let's have a look at the result then. 6 laps is when the result has been declared. Ollie Samways, the race winner in car number 58. Second to number 43, Ben Butler, 4.1 seconds behind. In third place, number 93, Sam Slater. Fourth was number 15, Ian Slark. In fifth position, number 7, Steve Rideout. In sixth was 33, Will Tyrrell, though who was removed from the results because he was the cause of the red flag. So up to sixth will go number 40, Christine Clark. To seventh will go 38, James Bryan. To eighth will go number 13, Morgan Bartley. To ninth will go 64, John Jenkins. And Trevor Peterson also was not running at the time of the red flag, so it may well be Matt Baker that's classified in 10th position. All of that subject to official confirmation. You can see the finishers Paul Hollett and Claire Jeffers. Fair Ruben Veloda also did make it to the end of that race. We lost Tal Butler and James Jenkins in that race as well. We're all ready to speak to our race winner down in the pit lane, so let's head down to Andy McEwen.
So, slightly early end to that second Mighty Mini race of the weekend, but Ollie Samways won't mind one bit because he was comfortably out in front anyway. Ollie, come over and have a chat with us. That was about as comfortable a victory as I've seen for a long time in Mighty Minis. So important, isn't it, to get away early doors?
I had a similar one here a couple of years ago, race 2, and it kind of dried out towards the end, and I just had a real good feel, and that came again today. So, had a blistering start. I think starting on the outside, a little bit more grip, so managed to get away, got John on the inside, and then it was just trying to work away. The track improved so quickly there. Every lap was different and just getting better and better. So yeah, to start with, it was very switch over, crossed arms, going around, especially down Craner, and then afterwards, it was on rails again. So absolutely brilliant. I want to thank you, Steve Rideout, really quickly for getting the car ready over winter. And it's just, car's mega. Obviously, race 1 was a little bit different. We had a bit of an issue there, but luckily finished the race, managed to sort the car out, and a win now. So mega.
What was the issue out of interest in race 1?
Just had a little punt up the rear, but the conditions were difficult. Every lap got worse and worse in race 1. So it was all fine. Luckily, we were all right. Car's fine. We got back out. So all good.
We often think of changeable conditions the other way around, really, don't we? Going from dry to wet, and the track gets less grippy with every lap. How much of a challenge is it when it's this way around there? Because you'd think more grip each lap makes it easier, but then you can't afford to hold back, can you? Because someone else will be taking bigger risks.
Yeah, well, it pushes you into going harder, and obviously you go into another corner, it might be a little bit wetter, which you think is dry from the previous corner, so you get a bit more confidence, and that's when things start to go wrong. So we've had both today. First race it got wetter, this one got drier, so we've had a real mix today. But really happy with this. it's been brilliant. So.
Excellent job, Ollie. Congratulations on the race victory then. Ollie Samways our winner in race 1. Ben Butler back on the podium. Ben, not the top step this time, but satisfied with second?
Oh, 100%. 102 podiums. I can't complain. First and the second. It's unbelievable. I mean, not making excuses, but my head gasket's literally blown.
Oh, really?
So I started losing power. I was just wanting to maintain that second position. That's all I wanted to do. I'm glad I'm here.
That's interesting then. So do you think if the race had gone to its full duration, you might have struggled to make the end, at least in a podium place?
Do you know what? It was getting close. My temperature was getting really, really high. I think I had another 2 laps and then I'd have been in real deep trouble. So I'm just fortunate enough to be on the second. It's not where I wanted to be, but I'm grateful for being on the podium again. Hats off to Ollie, because he's a superb driver. Me and Ollie have had many a battle. Yeah, I'm just over the moon.
Been a solid day points-wise as well. Looking forward now to the next round. Are you confident you can keep that going?
Yeah, I've got a bit of work to do on my son's car. He had a bit of an off with Ollie, bless him, earlier on. But you know what? We'll just go literally back to the workshop, take them all apart again, strip, rebuild them. Away we go again.
And you do most of that work yourself, do you?
I do, yeah. So it's me and my son. I do, yeah, literally the whole lot. First year for doing everything myself. Towards the end of last year, I started, rebuilding my engines, and I was like, you know what, I can actually do this. So yeah, I've just carried on, got super power, super setup, and it seems to be working. So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
Excellent stuff. Well, congratulations. Really solid day for Ben Butler here at Donington Park. Second place in race 2. Let's go this way, shall we, Johnny, and chat to Sam Slater, who makes his first appearance on the podium this weekend. Sam, well done. Third place finish. Nice way to end the day, that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I mean, never been to the circuit before, so I had lower expectations than probably these two. But yeah, to be fair, I was using the footage of them racing a couple of years ago to be able to learn the circuit, so I knew they'd be at the front, and to be able to kind of run with them was, yeah, quite good. So I'm happy with that. I think my issue today was pushing it a little too much. I was on the gravel in both races.
Oh, really?
But I still managed to survive and yeah, get good results. So third and the fifth, yeah, I'll take it. Not bad. For a track I don't know.
Well, see, that surprised me, because you've been around in this championship for a few years now, on and off, I guess, rather than full season campaigns. So now you have driven it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely, I actually prefer it in the wet, Oh, really? Yeah, I found it a lot more, I mean, I was partially blind for the first few minutes of my first race, but when I got used to the wet, I definitely found a rhythm which was gunning the leaders down. But here in the dry, I was definitely losing something. In reflection, I was taking that one in fourth. I should have been taking it in third. So, yeah, after talking to Ollie, he's now given me the secrets after we finished. But, yeah, I think definitely, because we've changed regs and, there's a couple of differences to the car and how they drive, getting used to that. This was my first time driving the new regs as well. So, new to the circuit, never done it in the wet, new regs on the car, a lot of adaptations for me this weekend. And to get third, yeah, happy, very happy.
I would be too. Sam, congratulations on third place then. So that is your Mighty Mini action for the weekend done with. We've got more racing.